Where were you before you were working with us?
So I was in IT leadership, and in May of 2021, I was let go from that opportunity, and I happened upon a different opportunity. So I thought maybe the universe was telling me I should go into the sales position for a small consulting firm here where I live. And so I took the opportunity. They gave me a nice title. I was VP of Client Solutions, Client Services. And I basically did account management and business development for them. I loved part of the job and didn't love all of the job. I was missing my spark. I really wanted to manage people again. I was used to working for global large companies and driving change. And so late last year, I made a decision to leave that opportunity and go look for my, dream opportunity. So I had spent some time before I saw the ad for exec upgrades, thinking about what was it that I wanted to target, and then just saw your ad. I went back and forth, but after about a week, after I talked to, I think it was Oz, I decided I could use the help, kind of my brand and working, with proven techniques, to find an opportunity. So that's why I joined.
So you found an ad. How did you feel when you saw the ad? Like, what made you feel like, or I guess at what point did you say, this is for me, I'm going to do it?
The ad grabs your attention because, are you looking for your dream job? I just happened to be saying to myself, I want to, it's almost like it heard me say dream job or something. And then when I watched the video, I think there was a short introduction that said, why don't you talk to somebody? I thought, well, I'll give it a try and talk to them and just get a feeling for, what I would get. I was intrigued by the access to many different leaders. I thought maybe you guys had a database of leaders that I would have access to. So when I got, finally signed up and realized that it was an app that you would connect with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I was like, okay, that's different than what I thought, but proved to be very effective. And I probably added about 100 extra executives. I already was at about 2,700 or 2,800 people that I was connected to, but a pretty good network over the years of meeting with people. But I added at least 100 CIOs that I would not have met with. And it amazed me, the conversations that I had with them and how nice people were to meet with me.
What did you find was the most valuable part of your experience at ECU?
Probably what was most valuable was honing in on my stories and my sales pitch. I had a sales pitch, but I actually added to it after going through the training, the videos that you had. I'll be honest, I didn't finish the interview certification, but I did go through 2 sessions, and that was very helpful because it allowed me to ask questions up front that I would have not normally done, and then bring my stories into it. And I think that really helped me. So that would be my first piece. And then the second piece was the reaching out to people that I didn't know and actually connecting with them. That was valuable, I think. And people could do that on their own, right? I just never did. I never did a lot of cold reaching out, and I think the automation helps you do that.
Yeah, it helps get momentum and get you out of your comfort zone. How was your experience working with Kristina, and how did the mindset portion of this program help you?
Well, she's awesome. I really connected with her personally. We have some, kind of similar likes. Her exercises that she provided made me think quite a bit about what I really wanted. And then I attended her, weekly sessions often. And I think that in just me talking to other people, your mindset, in my mind, is probably 80 or 90% of this, and the training that you get, feeling confident in yourself and how you present that to people. And so I find everything that I've listened to her and you about have been very beneficial.
Would you say you were battling any particular self-limiting beliefs that were holding you back?
Oh, sure. I have never managed information security. I've just always had a block. I've managed security operations, but I've never done the architecture of security. I've always felt, because I didn't have that past experience, I couldn't manage it in the future. And so that was one self-limiting belief that I had that I really worked through. Another one is that I wasn't technical. You know, my degree's in Spanish education, but I've spent my whole career in IT. And so, you know, I'd even say that I'm not technical, but, you know, whatever. And when you really dig down into all the examples of what I led, I was technical. And so I was able to enhance my stories and re-say those stories over and over again to get me to have that confidence and not have that disbelief or, you know, those thoughts, if that makes sense. So that was very helpful.
Thank you for sharing that with me. We just got done doing a podcast actually about an hour ago. You might have seen it on imposter syndrome and self-limiting beliefs. And even
I haven't, but I was going to watch it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one. It's something I could talk about all day, but even some of our tech folks have this I'm not technical thought as far as like implementing something like Asperis, for example, or automated systems. They just get sort of, I don't know, even scared of it. So they don't even implement it or go to the support calls, and then they don't get the best use out of it. So I'm glad you were able to change that, you know?
I truly believe that the technology in a lot of ways kind of takes care of itself, and all the other skills that I provide are very needed to lead through the change. And so I have concentrated on examples about that as well, because you don't need to be scared of the technology. The technology in a lot of ways can self-implement. It's all the integrations and how do you handle that and the conversations with people and getting them to be on board with the change and that sort of thing that is more important in my mind.
So if you don't mind sharing, I'm sure this is somewhere, I didn't look it up, but what was your exact outcome, and was it, you know, perfectly aligned with what your vision was? And what I mean by outcome was, you know, not just the salary and the offer, but the team that you're on, the leadership you're surrounded with, the whole, the big picture.
I would write down every day what I wanted in the future. Like, I wanted to be a director or VP of technology, working for a global company, driving change, and managing and coaching a team while doing so. So that was my phrase that I would write. And I wrote it down every day, you know, on a piece of paper in the middle of the day. I would just go through the steps that you guys provided. So I would post every day. I would reach out to people that I knew. I would meet new people. Sometimes I applied for jobs. There were weeks where I applied for a lot and I didn't hear back. And then I didn't apply for as many. And I didn't let what my vision was kind of get in the way of that process. In the end, I had 4 or 5 companies that I was interviewing with. So another thing I didn't add is I wanted to work remote. I didn't want to move again. I'm willing to travel, but this is our 8th home and I didn't want to move again. So the role that I ended up with is a director of IT service excellence and organizational change management. I'm one of 4 directors that are driving the service management strategy. This is 100% remote. I'm going to be building a team. So this is a new role. It's somewhat of a startup. I speak Spanish fluently, and some of my team members are going to be in Latin America, which excited me. Pretty large budget. I don't own a budget. I've been a budget manager before, but the hiring manager wanted me to help her manage the budget. And it just feels like it takes all my years of experience running and scaling IT and helping this group kind of scale IT and do it in a better way. So that's kind of the opportunity.
Just hearing you tell me what the result is, even if all the parts weren't like 100%, you sound so certain that you're part of something that you're really good at.
Yeah, I can add value, right? So I don't know if you know much about some of the frameworks that there are, but there's a framework out there called ITIL. And ITIL is a framework that you can manage and monitor and, you know, kind of scale your processes within IT. And so I have a master's certification in that from many years ago, and I've always used it as my backdrop. So my 2 roles ago, I was the head of infrastructure and operations. So I had many different groups that I managed. I had a service management team. I had an end user computing team. I had a server and network team and telephony team. And so I had to take that service management strategy and roll it out globally. So this role, I don't have all of the pieces, so I've done that before, but I can use that experience to know how we can improve these processes for the other groups within IT. So I feel like it will totally use my experience.
Very cool. I hope it does. Are you having fun in this role?
Well, I haven't started. I start on Monday, right
Oh my
before you
gosh.
called. I got my new equipment, just in the process of setting up my new equipment. But yeah, I will start on Monday, so I'm pretty excited.
And I guess my last question, and I want to be respectful of your time, is what would you tell someone who is considering working with us?
I would tell them that your techniques and steps work. I think it's great to be part of a community while you're looking for a role. So I liked that, going to meetings and then doing follow-up. And I have somebody today that I'm meeting with that had heard that I landed, and she just wanted to know how it was going to go. So I feel like I've made friends. And when you're in this, when you're trying to find the right role, it's nice to be part of a community because you don't feel alone, right? I've already recommended you guys to many people, and I've just sent your link to many different people saying, hey, if you're ever in the future looking for help, this is a great way just to get focused and be able to find your dream job. I wrote it down. I met with 40 people that I knew, 43 people I didn't know. I applied for 25 jobs and I had 17 interviews over that 60-day period. It was a lot. It takes about a month to get set up, and then that second month, if you really are at it and do all the steps, it was true to form. That third month, I started having the interviews, and it just happened to be, it could have taken a little bit longer, but it works.